Rule
Rule
1030.
1030.
Next
Next
slide,
slide,
please.
please.
So
So
what
what
we're
we're
going
going
to
to
present to
present to
you
you
or to
or to
tackle to
tackle
you
to you
about
about
is
is
the
the
definition of
definition of
the
the
training
training
programs
programs
first
first
and
and
the
the
definition of
definition
the
of the
roles of
roles
the
of the
safety
safety
officer
officer
and
and
all
all
of
of
the
the
practitioners that
practitioners
are
that are
involved
involved
in
in
a
a
safety
safety
standards
standards
of what
of
is
what is
happening
happening
in a
in a
workplace.
workplace.
So
So
first of
first of
all,
all,
we're gonna
we're
have
gonna have
to
to
identify the
identify the
training
training
programs that
programs
are
that are
needed
needed
in
in
order
order
to
to
execute this
execute this
kind
kind
of
of
trainings
trainings
and
and
to
to
educate
educate
every
every
person
person
uh, that
that
will
will
accommodate
accommodate
the
the
position
position
to
to
uh,
uh,
the
the
position
position
to
to
help the
help the
workplace
workplace
be
be
safe.
safe.
Okay,
Okay,
so the
so the
first one
first one
is the
is the
bureau,
bureau,
either
either
directly or
directly
through
or through
accredited
accredited
organizations.
organizations.
So first
So
of
first of
all,
all,
the
the
training
training
program
program
should
should
be
be
accredited
accredited
in
in
order
order
to
to
be
be
executed
executed
and
and
to
to
increase
increase
the
the
supply and
supply and
competence of
competence of
personnel
personnel
qualified to
qualified to
carry out the
carry out the
provisions
provisions
of
of
these
these
standards.
standards.
This is a
This is a
must in
must in
order
order
to
to
have
have
the
the
standard
standard
in a
in a
high
high
level
level
and
and
to
to
make
make
the
the
workplace
workplace
more
more
organized and
organized and
more
more
professional
professional
as it
as
would
it would
be.
be.
The
The
second one
second one
is
is
the
the
Bureau
Bureau
shall
shall
prescribe
prescribe
the
the
required
required
training
training
programs.
programs.
As I've
As
said
I've said
earlier,
earlier,
the
the
standard should
standard
be
should be
high in
high in
order
order
to
to
execute the
execute the
plans
plans
thoroughly
thoroughly
and
and
in an
in an
organized
organized
way
way
or
or
in an
in an
organized
organized
manner.
manner.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so
this
this
contains
contains
provisions
provisions
requiring the
requiring the
incorporation
incorporation
into the
into the
training
training
programs of the
programs of the
latest
latest
trends,
trends,
practices, and
practices, and
technology
technology
and
and
occupational
occupational
safety and
safety and
health.
health.
So in
So in
order
order
to
to
do
do
this, we
this, we
have
have
to
to
be
be
parallel to
parallel to
what
what
is
is
the
the
technology is
technology is
capable
capable
of
of
as of
as of
today.
today.
So in
So in
order to
order
do
to do
this,
this,
we
we
have to
have to
practice
practice
and
and
to
to
uh,
uh,
practice
practice
and
and
to
to
enhance our
enhance our
skills
skills
and
and
our
our
knowledge
knowledge
in
in
certain
certain
aspects
aspects
of
of
being
being
of
of
safety
safety
and
and
health
health
and
and
to
to
uh,
uh,
and
and
to
to
make the
make the
workplace
workplace
organized as much
organized as
as
much as
possible.
possible.
Next
Next
slide,
slide,
please.
please.
So
So
yeah,
yeah,
1032
1032
accreditation.
accreditation.
The
The
secretary may
secretary may
issue
issue
accreditation or
accreditation or
authority to
authority to
recognize
recognize
organizations or
organizations or
groups of
groups of
persons to
persons to
conduct
conduct
occupational
occupational
safety and
safety
health
and health
training.
training.
So
So
uh,
uh,
a
a
plan
plan
should
should
be
be
made
made
first
first
or to
or to
be
be
accredited
accredited
and to
and
be
to be
authorized
authorized
by
by a higher
a
a
higher
higher
position
position
in
in
order to
order to
execute
execute
the
the
plan.
plan.
And
And
in
in
rule
rule
1032,
1032,
accreditation is a
accreditation is a
must
must
for
for
for the
for the
organization to
organization to
be
be
recognized and
recognized and to be
uh,
uh,
to
to
practice
practice
every
every
people that
people
are
that are
involved.
involved.
Next
Next
slide,
slide,
please.
please.
Okay,
Okay,
1032
1032
are the
are the
criteria
criteria
for
for
training.
training.
First
First
bullet
bullet
is a
is a
bureau
bureau
prescribed
prescribed
course of
course of
study
study
shall be
shall be
used
used
or
or
followed by
followed by
accredited
accredited
organizations,
organizations,
and a
and a
deviation from
deviation from
the
the
prescribed
prescribed
training
training
course
course
must be
must
with
be with
the
the
previous
previous
approval
approval
of
of
the
the
bureau.
bureau.
So
So
in
in
here,
here,
in the
in the
word
word
deviation,
deviation,
uh,
uh,
in
in
training we
training we
have
have the
the standards
standards
that
that
we are
we are
following.
following.
So
So
we
we
should
should
strictly
strictly
follow
follow
what
what
is
is
the
the
step-by-step
step-by-step
process or
process
the
or the
practical
practical
steps
steps
in
in
order
order
to
to
train
train
or
or
to
to
execute
execute
the
the
training
training
of
of
the
the
people that
people
are
that are
involved.
involved.
The
The
second
second
one,
one,
provisions for
provisions for
adequate
adequate
training
training
facilities for
facilities for
holding
holding
the
the
training,
training,
including
including
laboratory
laboratory
facilities,
facilities,
library
library
training, and
training, and
equipment.
equipment.
Okay, this
Okay,
is a
this is a
must
must
because
because
if
if
the
the
trainees
trainees
aren't
aren't
gonna
gonna
cannot
cannot
access
access
this
this
kind
kind
of
of
equipment,
equipment,
uh,
uh,
the
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 training
training
will be
will
a
be a
failure
failure
because
because
they
they
cannot
cannot
they
they
cannot
cannot
apply
apply
their
their
skills
skills
in a
in a
practical
practical
manner
manner
with
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 a
a
with
with
the
the
proper
proper
equipment
equipment
and
and
the
the
facilities
facilities
needed.
needed.
The third
The
one
third one
is
is
training
training
staff
staff
must be
must be
composed of
composed of
persons
persons
recognized by the
recognized by the
bureau.
bureau.
So
So
if
if
someone is
someone is
training
training
a
a
trainee,
trainee,
he or
he or
she
she
should be
should be
qualified
qualified
as a
as a
professional
professional
to to teach someone or a group of organization to learn about their skills, because as as a trainer, you should be the one who have a higher knowledge and skills to the ones that you are training. Next slide, please. Okay, we are going now to the definitions of the words that are involved in safety and health, which is the main one, the safety officer. Safety officer is the one that implement occupational safety and health programs in the workplace in accordance with the provisions of the standards, and should be synonymous to the term safety man as used in these standards. So they are the ones who are checking the safety and the the safety of the team as a whole whenever they are in a workplace. So, in a nutshell, they are the one who are safeguarding the potential. They're the one who are safeguarding the group of people which are involved in the workplace. Next slide, please. Okay, occupational safety and health personnel. As we all know, the term medic or the aide, they're the ones who will carry out this kind of work because they are referring to physician, nurse, dentist, chemist, and all that are all of them are responsible for our healthcare, which is based on the standards that are given by the authority or the higher ups. Next slide, please. So, okay, the practitioner of safety officer, as I said earlier, they are the one who are safeguarding the workplace. This is just a definition of the practitioner or the one who will execute or the one who will carry out the action or the application of safety in a workplace. Specifically, it's about health services or occupational safety of the people working in the place. Next slide, please. Okay, occupational safety and health consultant. Also, this definition is about the ones that I have said earlier, the health practitioners. This is just the practitioners that are going to carry out the plans and the what you call this, the health safety of the people that are involved. They are the ones who are consulting. They're the ones who are in advisory services on maintaining the safety of everyone. Next slide, please. Trainer refers to a person of facilities learning situation in one or more topics in an occupational safety and health training. Of course, they are the one who are allowed by the organization because they are familiar to the organization and the organization know what they are capable of in teaching. So the trainer must be the one who facilitates the learning situation of every trainee in order to make them more skilled and knowledgeable. Next slide. Okay, training organization. We're the one who accredit or in parallel to signing a contract or so I may say is by the law accredited and or authorized by law to conduct training in a particular field. So they're just they are the organization that organized and authorized this kind of training management for the people that will carry out the health and safety protocols. Next slide, please. Okay, hazardous establishment. As I have said earlier, workplace is involved in every task that are being finished or in progress. So these establishments or workplace have higher risk of involving accidents, injuries, illness, death, and so on, which should be defined by the health protocols or by the ones who are involved in health practice in by health practitioners in order to minimize the accidents or the incidents that are involved, as I've said earlier, in like hazards or worse, death. They should identify the possible threat, the possible hazard in every place. So that's a hazardous establishment. Next slide, please. And highly hazardous establishment. So it takes the higher level of safeguarding the individuals or the team members, because this is a highly hazardous establishment. It is one where potential hazard within the company may affect the safety and or health of workers, not only within but also persons outside the premises. So yeah, it is it is mainly about safeguarding the team members and pinpointing all of the hazards that are capable of harming people. Next slide, please. The workplaces commonly associated with potentially high hazardous activities is is in the bullets that are followed: petrochemical works and refineries, chemical works and chemical production plants, LPG storage materials, stores and distribution center for toxic hazardous chemicals, large fertilizer stores, explosive factories, works in which chlorine is used in bulk, activities closely similar to the activities enumerated above, and so on. So, as you can see in all of the bullets that are presented, it is mainly about chemicals. Because chemicals can easily penetrate a person and they can eventually harm people. Unlike in machines, it is harmful but can be an accident, but uh, not a minimal harm to the person that is involved. But in chemical, we should watch out chemical tasks, because it is mostly harmful to everyone. It can contaminate everyone, which leads to worst case scenario, which is death. Okay, next presenter, please.
So next is under 1032.01, the criteria of training. So the first one is the Bureau prescribed course of study shall be used or followed by accredited organizations. Any deviation from the prescribed training must be with the previous approval of the Bureau. So in this description, it is completely necessary to have any training from the Bureau if there is any deviation or departure from any of this training shall be under the approval of the Bureau itself. So next is the provision for adequate training facilities for the holding of training, including laboratory facilities, library, training rooms, and equipment. So pretty much explanatory here. Then training staff must be composed of persons recognized by the Bureau, duly trained by or certified to complement by the Bureau or accredited training organizations. So next please.
So
So
audit
audit
systems.
systems.
A
A
Bureau
Bureau
prescribed
prescribed
course
course
of
of
study
study
shall be
shall be
used or
used or
followed by
followed by
accredited
accredited
organizations.
organizations.
Any
Any
deviation
deviation
from the
from the
prescribed
prescribed
training
training
course
course
must be
must
with
be
the
with the
previous
previous
approval
approval
of the
of the
Bureau.
Bureau.
Wait,
Prep
parang
para
ulit,
ulit,
parang
para na
naulit.
ulit.
Training in
Training in
personal
personal
complement.
complement. Number one, the training course must be prescribed by the Bureau. Under this rule, shall be a requisite for the appointment of a safety man in place of employment. So at least the following number of supervisors or technical personnel shall take the required training and shall be appointed safety man, full-time or part-time, depending on the number of workers employed. And the type of workplace, whether hazardous or non-hazardous, shall be under the Rule 1013 of the standards. So pretty much the even if it's just the safety man is just a full-time worker or just a part-time worker, they shall be they shall be taken under training. And also depending on the number of workers they were involved. So next please. So this is the table about the training personnel complement. So range from 1 to 50 workers from hazardous places shall be at least one part-time safety man. For highly hazardous, one full-time safety man, and non-hazardous for one part-time safety man. So for 50 to 200, 51 to 200 workers, from hazardous, it requires one full-time safety man. For highly hazardous, one full-time and one part-time safety man. And for one non-hazardous, it only requires one part-time safety man. From ranges 201 to 250 workers, one full-time safety man for hazardous and one part-time safety man. For highly hazardous, it requires two full-time safety man. From non-hazardous, it only requires two part-time safety man. Then
Excuse
from
me,
200,
excuse me, sir. Sino nagre-report ngayon? Who is reporting right now?
ako po sir, Bugarin po.
Anong name?
Bugarin po.
Bugarin. Ano yung pagkakaiba? What's the difference between part-time and full-time?
Sir, pag part-time po kasi parang ano lang po, saglitan po siya nasa establishment po. Pag full-time po, parang naka-contract po siya, sir. Naka-assign po talaga siya doon sa trabaho niya.
Ganito, yung full-time pwedeng naka-assign, naka-subcontract, di ba? Pero, yung ang tawag doon, meron kasi, sa ngayon kasi gusto na yung, alam mo yung scheme na subcon, di ba? Naka-subcontract. Di ba? Yung sweldo. Alam mo ba yung mga nagpapasweldo sa mga McDo, sa mga Sarali, hindi pala taga-Sarali, no? Meron silang hinahire na grupo na nakikipag-coordinate sa mga finance and then they are the ones doing the finance, mga pang-sweldo, mga pang no? So, pwede rin ganito yun. May i-hire ka na company or organization, pwede siyang full-time or part-time. When we say full-time, talagang naroon siya sa lahat ng oras ng operation, no? Kasi when we say 8 hours a day, that is only true for office, di ba? Halimbawa sa mga UE, no, yung mga mga school o yung mga normal na establishment, di ba? 8 hours a day lang. Pero sa mga iba may 2 shift, di ba? Halimbawa, may pangalawang shift. Tayo nagdo-2 shift sa UE kasi di ba may mga panggabi. Umaabot ng alas 9 hanggang alas 10. Sa mga panahon na oras na yon, dapat depende kung gaano ka delikado, if this is hazardous, highly hazardous, tsaka non-hazardous, no? Ang point lang natin, pag full-time, ano siya, no, yung buong oras na tumatakbo yung operation, nandun. Pag part-time, ano yung part-time? Yung partial lang. Na, halimbawa, sa isang araw, baka 3 hours, no? Kasi kung 8 hours operation, baka 2 hours or 3 hours, no? O sa mga saglit lang, titingnan lang, no? So, ngayon, yung mga tabulation, thank you for providing this, depende sa number of workers at depende sa tinatawag na severity kung gaano kadelikado, no? So, naipaliwanag naman yung yung hazardous, highly hazardous, tsaka non-hazardous, no? Naipaliwanag ba yung mabuti?
Yes po, sir.
Ano ba itong non-hazardous? Halimbawa, baka tayo, no, eskwelahan, no? Pwede ba 'yon? Hindi naman tayo hazardous, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Yung mga stores, mga boutique, mga ganun siguro, no? Yung mga simple. Ngayon, ano yung highly hazardous?
Yung mga power plants, sir.
Mga planta, hindi lang power plant, di ba? Planta, chemical plants, no? Factory. Gumagawa ng mga Clorox, mga chemicals, no? Or mga electricity distribution, di ba? delikado masyado yan. So, kailangan may, mayroong training, no? Training officer, kasi ang tawag yan training officer, no? Depende sa laki ng mga workers, no? Depende sa dami ng mga workers. O sige, naisingit ko lang. Thank you, thank you. Pakituloy naman. You may continue.
So anyway, around from 250 to 500, 251 to 500 workers from hazardous places, it requires two full-time safety man. Highly hazardous requires two full-time and one part-time safety man. So for 501 to 750 workers from non-hazardous places, it only requires one full-time safety man, two full-time safety man for 751 to 1,000 workers. So every additional 250 or fraction thereof, for highly hazardous places, it requires one additional full-time worker. Every additional 500 or fraction thereof requires one additional full-time worker for hazardous places and one additional full-time worker, safety man, for non-hazardous places. Next, please. So the training and personnel complement. So the duty of the safety man is specified under the Rule 1040 of the standards, which will be discussed later on. A part-time safety man shall be allotted for at least 4 hours per week to perform duties as the safety man. So almost the same description as Sir Ino described before. But this time is around it's required to be at least 4 hours for a part-time safety man. So the employment of a full-time safety man may not be required if the employer enters into a written contract with a qualified consultant or consulting organization whose duties and responsibilities shall include the following, among others. So, to assist, advise, or to guide the employer in complying with the provisions of the standards, including the development of health and safety programs, to make at least a quarterly appraisal of programs and safety performance to the establishment, including the activities of the safety committee, to be present during scheduled inspection by authorized government and agents and during regular safety committee meetings, and in the performance of these activities to be in the establishment of at least 6 hours in a week. The employment of a consultant will not excuse the employer from the required training of his supervisors or technical personnel. Next. So the qualifications. A qualified safety consultant shall mean that it has a safety or health practitioner experience for at least 5 years and is taking under necessary training prescribed by the Bureau. Safety practitioners with at least 10 years of experience in all fields of occupational safety and health is it already needed to undergo required training provided as they are secured from the Bureau. A certification attesting to their competence to qualify as consultants. All safety consultants or consulting organizations shall be credited by the Bureau and registered with the regional office concerned. Next, please. And of course, the prohibition in the practice of occupational safety and health. Of course, no person or organization may be allowed, hired, or otherwise employed a practice of occupational safety and health unless the requirements of this rule are complied with. So pretty much explanatory here that if we don't have any adequate training of safety training or such, it may lead to disaster when it comes to catastrophic consequences. So next reporter, please.
So, Rule 1040, Health and Safety Committee. So, the first one, general requirements. In every place of employment, a health and safety committee shall be organized within 60 days after the standards takes effect and for new establishments within 1 month from the date the business starts operating. In both cases, the committee shall reorganize every January of the following year. So next slide, please. So, types and composition of health and safety committee. Type A. In every workplace having a total of over 400 workers, the following shall compose the health and safety committee. So for the chairman, the manager or his authorized representative, who must be a top operating official. Members, two department heads, four workers, or the company physician. And the secretary must be the safety man. Let's proceed to type B. In every workplace having a total of over 200 to 400 workers, the following shall compose the Health and Safety Committee. For the chairman, same as type A. For the members, there must be one supervisor, three workers, the company physician or the company nurse, and for the secretary, same with type A. So for the next slides, we will see the difference of the composition of the Health and Safety Committee. Next reporter, please.
Type C. In every workplace with 100 to 200 workers, the following shall compose the Health and Safety Committee. The manager, which acts as the chairman of the committee, one foreman, three workers, and the nurse are the members, and one part-time safety man for the role of the secretary. Next, please. Type D. In every workplace with less than 100 workers, the following shall compose the Health and Safety Committee. The chairman, which is held by the manager. The members is one foreman, three workers, the nurse or the first aider, and the secretary is held by the part-time safety man. Next, please. Next slide, please. Type E, Joint Committee. When two or more establishments are housed under one building, the Health and Safety Committee organizing each workplace shall form themselves into a joint coordinating committee to plan and implement programs and activities concerning all the establishments. The joint coordinating committee shall be composed of the following: the chairman, which acts as the head of that established joint committee. The members are followed by two supervisors from two different establishments, two workers, and the secretary is appointed by the chairperson. The roles of these people will be discussed later. Next slide, please. Next slide. Membership of committee. The membership as provided is the minimum requirement and nothing shall prohibit increases in the number of members as may be found necessary. Where the workers are not organized, they shall be selected by a simple majority of votes of the workers. So the to be a member of this committee, you can be you can volunteer to be a member, or when there are no members who wants to volunteer, the workers in that specific establishment will vote for a worker to be a member of that committee. Next slide, please, and next reporter.
And 1043 are the duties of the Health and Safety Committee. The Health and Safety Committee is the planning and policy making group in all matters pertaining to the safety and health. And there are principles of duties of the Health and Safety Committees. Number one, the plans and develops accident prevention programs for the establishment. Direct the accident prevention effort of the establishment in accordance with the safety programs, safety performance, and government regulation in order to prevent accident from occurring in the workplace. Number three, conduct safety meetings at least once a month. Four, reviews report of inspections, accident investigations, and implementations of programs. Next slide, please. Number 5, submits reports to the manager on its meeting and activities. Provides necessary assistance to government inspecting authorities in the proper conduct or their activities such as the enforcement of the provision of the standards. Number 7, initiates and supervises safety training for employees. Number 8, develop and maintain a disaster contingency plans or organizes such emergency services units as may be necessary to handle disaster situation pursuant to the emergency preparedness manually for establishment of the Office of Civil Defense. These are the duties that need to uh, need to the Health and Safety Committee. Next slide, please. This is the 1044, the term of office of members. This is the order to provide an opportunity for other workers to become the member and participate in program planning. A periodic change in membership is encouraged. For this purpose, the term of office of the department is maybe in 1 year. Then the office worker of members in Type A and Type B, they are for 2 years. And Type C, D, and E committees may all be in 1 year. The chairman, physician of nurse and safety man shall be permanent members of the committee. Next slide, please. Uh, the 1044.02 Joint Committee. The term of this office of the chairman and the members should be in 1 year. Membership is joint committee shall be rotated among members of the health and safety committees in other establishments. Next slide, please. And the last, 1045, this is the duties of the employers. Health and safety committees play very important roles in eliminating work hazard, developing workers' interesting and participation in planning and development of safety programs is the responsibility of the employer. The employer must exercise the necessary leadership and provide support to make the program work. The principal duties of the employers are: first, establish and adopt in writing administrative policies on safety and conformity with the provision of the standards outlines therein his responsibility and authority delegated. Number 2, reports the enforcing authority in 2 copies of the police adopted and health and safety organization established to carry out the programs on safety and health within 1 month after the organization or reorganization of the Health and Safety Committee. Number 3, report to the enforcing authority have jurisdiction at least one in every 3 months counting from January, and health and safety programs of the organization outline of the activity undertaken including its safety performance. Health and Safety Committee meeting and its recommendations and measure taken to implement such recommendations. Number 4, act on recommended measures by the Health and Safety Committee by adopting the elements of the health and safety programs in the production process of workplace and in case of non-adoption of the Health and Safety Committee's recommendation to inform the committees of its reason. Next slide, please, and next report.
Enforces duties of the workers. Workers must take reasonable care for their own health and safety. Take reasonable care for the health of the others who may affect by their acts or omission. The following These are the following duties. Workers in accordance with accepted safety practices and standards established by the employer in compliance with the provisions of these standards. Number 2, Reporters unsafe conditions and practices to the supervisor by making suggestions for correction or removal of accident hazards. Serves as member of the Health and Safety Committee. Cooperates actively with the Health and Safety Committee. Assists government agencies in the conduct of health and safety inspections for other programs. Next slide, please. Duties of the safety man. The principal function of the safety man is to act as the employer's principal, assistant, and consultant in the application of programs to remove the hazard from the workplace and to correct unsafe work practices. For the purpose, the safety man has the following duties. Serves as secretary to the Health and Safety Committee. As such, he shall prepare minutes of meetings, report status of recommendations made, notify members of the meetings, and submit to the employer a report of the activity of the committee, including recommendations made. Next slide. Next slide, please. Number two, acts in an advisory capacity on all matters pertaining to health and safety for the guidance of the employer and the workers. Conducts investigation of accident as member of the Health and Safety Committee and submits a separate report and analysis of accidents to the employer. Number four, coordinates all health and safety training programs for the employees and employers. Conducts health and safety inspection as member of the committee. Number six, maintains or helps in the maintenance of an efficient accident record system and coordinates actions taken by supervisors to eliminate accident process. Provide assistance to government agencies in the conduct of safety and health inspections, accidents and investigations, or any other related programs. For purposes of effectiveness in the workplace where full-time safety man is required, he shall report directly to the employer. Next slide, please. These are the other types of health and safety organizations. Number one, line type, a form of organization where the general manager or head of the establishment directs the health and safety programs and assumes all of the responsibilities for the safety in established. He in turn delegates the application of health and safety programs to plant personnel occupying line position. And the other one is next slide. And the other one is the staff type. Staff safety organization or safety engineer type consists of the line organization with specialized personnel employed to advise and assist management in all matters of safety. Said personnel are responsible to the top executive exercising staff functions, serve, serve all departments in an advisory capacity and supervise the application of the health and safety program of the workplace. That's our report. Thank you.
Tapos na? Hello?
Yes po, sir.
Okay na? Tapos na yon? Sige, sige. Na-abandon na yun, na-leave na yung, yung presentation. Can I use this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So thank you very much doon sa group 2. Sa bali group 1 and group 2 natapos na kasi mga ano lang naman 'yan, mga administration, no? Administrative ano lang naman 'yon, mga topics, no? So let me share yung ano natin, no? Bago mag-time. May marami pa naman tayong time. No? Pwede naman nating hindi consumein, no, yung buong task basta natapos natin yung yung task natin. Pero let me discuss this para para meron tayong direction, no? So i-share ko lang muna yung screen ko. And then kunin ko yung ano ba yun? Yung ating safety, no? Standard. Nakikita ba yung ano? Are you seeing this standard from Dole? Yan, no? So ito yung standard natin. Ito yung binabasihan natin, and actually two, sorry. Like 2 meetings ago, no? Yung mga meetings natin, pinaliwanag ko yung sequence ng ating reporting, no? That's why we were able to accomplish, no? And thanks for them, yung group 1 and group 2, no? Yung general provision, other safety rules, registration. So right now, I think ang natapos ay, anong natapos nyo? 10:30 lang ba? 10:30 o 10:40? Kasama yung 10:40? Hanggang 10:40. Oh. Because this provisions are for like administrative, no? Yung mga patiuna, no? Wala pang mga technical masyado diyan. It's more on the mga policies, no, mga requirements. No? So thank you for discussing trainings of personnel and occupational safety and health. Then health and safety committee. Then ito rin followed by notifications. So ito, we can read this by ourselves, no, sa yun ang plano ko. Kasi may mga ano lang 'to mga practical, no? So moving on, occupational health, environmental control, ito PPE, hindi naman din ganun kahirap, mga sinusuot-suot lang 'yan. Hazardous materials, ito medyo technical na, yung mga materials na, 'di ba? Mga sulfur, mga chemicals, kung ano-ano man diyan. Then electric, work process, explosive, no, is another highly technical, no, dapat alam niyo yung mga chemicals na pampasabog, no, mga sumasabog, no, at pwedeng pampasabog, no, mga nitrate, yung mga fertilizer class, yung mga fertilizers are the ones used by the bomb maker, no, those who are making bombs, no, sa mga building and airplanes, no, kaya nakakapasok yung mga bomb hindi dahil gawa na, no, doon pa lang sila gagawa, no, may mga nitrate, may mga kung ano-anong mga chemicals, so doon sila gumagawa, so we have to know them also. Then ito yun na yung pang-mechanical, no? About boiler, no? Pressure vessel or boiler is really related directly to our field, which is mechanical engineering. Unfired pressure vessel, may mga pressurized vessel pero walang fire, no? So ibig sabihin yung mga steam heated or yung mga mga cylinders ng LPG, no? Pero pressurized, and then kailangan din natin i-discuss. Then internal combustion engine, we're going to discuss this now. So when the fire or the combustion takes place internally, no, that is referred to as internal combustion engine, which can be seen normally sa mga sasakyan, no, sa mga barko, no, mga diesel engine yan, mga sasakyan na mga truck, kotse, yan, no, motor, 'di ba? Internal combustion engine yan. Machine guarding, this is nothing but the guarding or the protective cover, no? Protective ano siya, wall or cover or guard, no? Guard nga ang tawag doon. Electrical safety, we have to know the elevators and related equipment, identification of power parking na. So dito, let me have your attention. Lend me your ears in this particular section, and this is tawag dito ay piping, no? So dito ko unang sadali. Dito ko unang gustong umpisahan, no? So 12:30 tsaka 12:40 piping. kasi ito ay kasama sa engineering pero mostly na nalalampasan, no? Construction safety is more on civil engineering, no? As far as mechanical or board exam is concerned, hindi naman masyado. But of course, when you have job already, when you engage in a job or employment industry, no? Hindi natin alam. We do not know where are we going to be placed, no? Sa construction ba, sa power plant, and so on, no? So we're going to this. Let me run through this and then I'll go back sa gusto kong mangyari. Now, logging, I think logging is good for to be informed, no? For information is good pero malayo to sa mechanical engineering, no? Logging, ano ba yung logging? Ano ba yung logging class? Anong concern sa logging?
Yung sa puno sa illegal. Yung pagputo ng illegal. Ano
Oh,
ba yun?
hindi, ito nga ay pagpuputol, 'di ba? So may safety rin pala diyan, no? Hindi naman pwedeng walang puputol ng logging. Anong mangyayari pag walang logging? Wala tayong papel, o di wala kang susulatan, wala kang resibo, wala kang pambalot sa semento, no? O wala kang tissue, pampunas ng mo pag dumumi, o mahalaga 'yan. Logging, pero may mga safety diyan, no? Power saw, engine, operation, yarding, rigging, no? Paano ka no? Pero this is a bit far from our profession, no? Wala namang tanong tungkol sa karaniwan sa logging, but we have to know yung safety because our intention here is not only to pass the board exam but to really appreciate and study the field of mechanical engineering. So moving on, fire. Now, it's one big topic which is very important. Fire, no? Alam di ba napakahalaga yung may kaalaman sa sunog, no? Sabi, ilang beses ka naman nakawan, wag lang masunugan. Bakit?
Pag nanakawan, may tira pa.
May tira pa, syempre. Hindi naman nanakawin ba yung ref mo? Tapag? Bahay? Matindi naman pag ninakaw yung bahay, no? So, yung pagnanakaw, ang nanakawin lang yan, pera eh. Alahas. Yung mga madaling bitbitin ng mga robbery, mga burglar, no? Because everybody needs money and easy money. So, yung ginagawa. Pero yung sunog, alam nyo, pag may sunog, kumakalat yan, no? Kakalat, tupok, lahat, abo. So, pati pera mo, no? Wala na. Wala nang nanakawin kasi abo na lang eh, no? So, mahirap masunugan. So, it's good to know this, no? Yung fire. Especially sa safety, no? Pesticides, it's good also good to know. Kaya lang it's more on, if you in the future are going to be engaged in like sa mga company ng pesticide, ng Mapicon. Diba? May mga ganun yata, yung pest control and something, fertilizers, no? Kung napasama ka sa mga agriculture, no? Advantage yan. Ito is just like mga, no? Yung moving on, mga naman to, administrative topics, no? Occupational health services, no? Workplace health qualification, employers, mga fee na dapat bayaran sa mga sa mga government na existing agencies, no? May mga fee. Halimbawa, alam niyo ba pag nagtayo kayo ng company, if you decide to make a factory or company that requires boilers, no? Or any establishment, for example, ano ba yung mga company o mga building, na nangangailangan ng boiler. Halimbawa, nagtayo ako ng hotel. Kailangan ba ng boiler o hindi?
Kailangan po.
Bakit?
Para po doon sa,
Sa hot water, di ba? Mainit.
Opo.
Kasi kung ayaw mo maglagay ng boiler o mag-iinit sa kettle, takore, isa-isa, at walang hot water, di ba? Normally sa hotel, in a standard hotel, laging may hot water line, HWL, and cold water line, CWL. So, lahat ng merong hot water line. Aside from mga maiinit na kailangan, like, siyempre, gusto mong mag-shower and, sa mga steam laundry, kailangan yan, no? Otherwise, malulugi ka. Walang pupunta sa hotel, no? Kasi pagligo niya, lamig. Especially kung winter, hindi nanginginig siya. Nangangatog siyang gano'n, no? So, eto, mga lang yan, provision, no? pag marami kang mga structure about safety, magbabayad ka ng fee, no? Kasi may mga plano yan eh, no? Bago ka makapagbayad, yung munisipyo. Sa munisipyo nga pala, class, may Office of the Building Official, OBO, no? Some every city government or town, OBO, Office of the Building Officials, and they before they will allow you to erect a certain establishment like hotel or something, they will require so many plans. Anong plans? Sanitary plans, no? Kung may elevator dyan, kung civil, architectural, electrical plans, no? Ang dami, mga plano. Kada plano bayad, no? So, hindi ganun kasimple. Ngayon, sa safety, hanapan kayo dahil, may boiler po pala kayo. Nasaan yung plano nyo, no? Kasi mag-a-ask kayo ng permit. And when you ask permit from the government unit, siyempre, bayad. Diyan kumikita yung gobyerno, no? Yung kita ng isang municipality or city. Okay? So, etong mga to ay ano lang, mga administrative topics, no? Authority of local government, final provision, and then wala na to. Annex means mga inserts lang to, no? Yung mga table, mga kung ano-ano pa, no? Now, my point here is I want to focus more here muna, no? Eto, piping and power piping. Ganito, yung group 3, sino yung leader ng group 3 class? Who is the leader of group 3?
Losabi po.
Lasabe? Ano pangalan?
Losabi po.
Oh, sige. So, yung group 3, ito ang take upin, no? Identification ng piping system tsaka power piping. Konti lang naman to. Ano yung mga kulay? Halimbawa, pag tinanong kita, ano ba ang dapat na kulay sa isang piping system na tubig ang laman? Alam mo ba? O paano kung steam? Paano kung refrigerant? Ano ang mga pipe halimbawa sa mga electrical? Anong kulay? Dapat alam, no? Kasi pag tingnan mo yung building, alam mo, mamaya pag kumpuni mo, 'di ba? O pag sira mo, kala mo yun ang yung pala. So sa electrical ay orange, no? Ganyan. Sa tubig ay green, no? Meron ding sa mga madudumi, sa mga chemicals meron din, no? So yung group 3, eto muna yung take upin, no? Konti lang naman to. Tung 12:30 tsaka 12:40. Ngayon, after this, ako muna mag-take over. Okay ba? Para pahinga muna kayo. No? So, 12:30 and 12:40 ay piping, no? Yung grupo ng group 3 leader, no? So, please take note. Ipa-PowerPoint lang din to, no? After that, ako muna yung mag-take over. Ano yon? We are going to expound, no? We're going to dig deeper dun sa piping, no? Kasi mahina ang mga mechanical engineer sa piping or plumbing, no? Kasi parang may iba yung engineering na sakop. Merong dalawang sumasakop sa plumbing and piping. One is master plumber and the other one is sanitary engineers, no? So wala kang makikitang curriculum sa Pilipinas na nagfo-focus more on plumbing and piping except sa sanitary engineering, no? Mas pasok yan na pasok sa trabaho nila, halimbawa yung mga piping, tapos yung paggawa ng mga, alam niyo yung water closet, mga ano ba sa English yung Poso Negro? Septic, no? Septic vault, septic tank, no? Hindi yan inaaral ng isang mechanical engineer, pero yun ang kadalasang nangyayari sa buhay, no? Lahat ng bahay, lahat ng building, lahat ng planta, lahat ay may septic tank. O tanongin kita, as an engineer, marunong ka ba mag-design ng septic tank, yung pinaglalagyan ng dumi ng mga tao? Kaya mo ba yan kasi engineer ka? 'Di ba? So yung mga ganun mga practical is also under piping and plumbing and safety, no? So if I ask you now, ilan bang chamber ilan chamber ang septic tank according to law? Nakakita na ba kayo ng design ng septic tank?
Ako sir, hindi pa.
Poso Negro, hindi ka pa nakita pag may nanggagawa?
Hindi pa
Rectangle.
po.
Mm.
Nakikita ko lang sir yung mga truck.
Parang
Yung
swimming pool underground.
Hindi, okay lang, naintindihan ko naman. So, siyempre, bata pa kayo, no? Second year pa lang, no? Pero as you go on, lahat ng bagay sa paligid nyo ay mayroong engineering, no? Yun ang totoo. Electrical, may computer, may mechanical, may civil, may architecture, may sanitary. Na so dapat observe from now on kung hindi niyo lang na ano pa na napa-practice, maging observant kayo, no? So kasama to sa mga piping and plumbing, yung septic tank, no? Dati dalawa chamber, pwede na. Ngayon, according to Clean Water Act, alam niyo ba yung Clean Water Act? Alam ba hindi?
Hindi po.
So yung may mga batas sa Pilipinas na nasakop, no, yung profession natin at yung profession din ng iba. Halimbawa, Clean Water Act, tapos yung Solid Waste Management Act, di ba? Clean Air Act. So lahat ng ginagalawan natin, sakop yan, no? Halimbawa, nasa planta ka, nagpapalabas ka ng mga tinatawag na fumes, no? Yung mga pollutants galing sa maiinit, ang tawag doon mga flue gas. No. Sakop yan ng Clean Air Act, no? O Clean Water Act. Ngayon, ganito lilinawin ko lang bago ako mag-flash ng isang slide.